Be in the picture. Money.
Okay. Check.
Mic check 1, 2, 36, 84.
Yes, sir.
All right. Audio on?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, you guys, welcome to Vigilante Podcast, episode 48. Good things are happening. We'll have a special episode here on episode 50, to be announced, TBA. But today we're just going to do another Wing It episode. Had to put out a post on Instagram just to see what some of the people wanted to hear, and this was one of the requests. It's been a little bit since we've done a Wing It episode. No script, no agenda, no topics, no key points. Just we hop on and say, all right, what are we going to talk about today? You know,
What do you think? What do you think they like to hear?
You know, just I was told some of the past stories about ourselves. You know, some of the things we've had to go through, had to develop, and had to persevere through, for sure. But we have the Trail Ninja on with us here, as always. And then we got Mr. Demby, a big part of the Green Grass Juicery team as well, here with us.
Sir. How you guys doing?
So, man, great to have you guys both. The Dominator wasn't able to make it out tonight, but he'll be on here in the future episode.
He's too busy dominating.
He does everything he touches, man. He just dominates everything. It's like the Midas touch, but but dominating side of things. Just so you guys know, I might have a couple sniffles here and there throughout this episode. My nose, man, just been on me all day today. I feel fine, but just like stuffy and then runny and stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. It is changing of the seasons again, so we'll see what happens. But I'm excited and blessed to have you guys on here. Outside of that, I was I went back to studying Conor McGregor's come up again yesterday night, man. It's like people get so they start hating. They start hating and discriminating against the. He's very cocky. He's very confident in himself as well. And there's a fine line on both sides. He's very confident, but he's also cocky. You know, but there's you can still be confident and be humble, but people get caught up in the media, like, oh, he's this, he did that, he did this negative thing, or he talked this way, and so they disregard so many of the principles that he used in his come up to success. And there's so much gold in there. It's nuts.
I was going to say too, I mean, a lot of people say, people are cocky and different stuff like that, but it takes a certain amount of confidence to get to that level. Like, people don't realize how much effort it gets to even feel cocky and stuff. Like,
what do you think the difference is, cocky and confident?
I think it's just in
the way you go about it. I feel like,
really the way you go about it. But it's such a fine line, truly. And just like you're saying, it takes so much preparation, so much work, and so much effort to become that confident in yourself. Most people want that. Most people want to feel that confident in themselves, but they can't.
That's why they shame it. I feel like when other people are that, because they're not that in themselves, so they make it be like, oh, he's just arrogant, cocky, right? But he really just believes in himself.
So maybe maybe it's the way other people perceive you instead of the way you really act.
Right.
It could be it. Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel you. And maybe it could just come down to like something as far as how you treat others.
Right.
And is that, are you being a confident, kind person or a confident asshole?
Yeah.
You know, because either way, you're still confident, but
if you're mean, you're cocky.
Right.
If you're not, you're confident.
Yeah. Interesting. And it could be that simple. And then I like how you put that, Demby, because I was listening to this Tony Robbins talk a few years back, and he was talking about how there was, and I wasn't old enough to remember this, but you might, there was,
I'm old.
Hey, it's all just relative, you know, age is all just relative. But there was this girl in the Olympics that I guess broke her foot. And
Carrie Strug
I don't know who, I don't even know her name, but I guess like she breaks her foot and she ends up scoring, was it a perfect 10 or close to a perfect 10?
So no, it was really good score.
Yeah, she nailed like the landing, killed it, one leg. Yeah. Like dominated the deal, and he was talking about it in his speech. He's like, I had so many people in America and brought them to tears because of what she was able to accomplish and push through that pain, push through that adversity. But it was showtime. It was time to perform. She had trained her whole life up to this point for that one moment. She ain't gonna let a little bit of pain or even a lot of bit of pain stop her from that moment today.
Yeah.
So she goes, she kills it, gets an amazing score, and he's like, Tony Robbins expressed this too. He said, it's not that you were excited for her or you were so happy for what she did. You were so emotional about it because you saw a little glimpse of yourself in the accomplishment that she had. And I think it's just that same way, like you're saying, is there's a little glimpse of what you could be when you're looking at a confident person or looking at a cocky person, a glimpse of what you could be, but you hadn't prepared enough yet. You hadn't convinced the old subby, the subconscious mind, that you can be and you are and you should be and you deserve it.
My favorite story about that performance like that was, I don't know if you guys remember. You remember Rulon Gardner, wrestler?
Yeah, I do.
When he beat that Russian dude?
Yeah, he's next level.
That was incredible.
Crazy. Nobody could touch him.
No, that guy was undefeated. Like, I don't even know. I was 250-0. I'll be right back. Yeah, lost.
I want to say, don't the Russians have like the best wrestling they did back in the day?
Yeah, what was that, Greco?
Yeah, Greco-Roman.
It was crazy. This guy was an underdog, wasn't supposed to beat this big Russian dude, and he outlasted him, beat him. It was crazy.
Yeah, I can't find my phone, but I had a cool quote about that
from Rulon Gardner.
No, not from Rulon. Just about having to be able to come back and like you got to go through shedding a lot of previous comments that you've taken throughout your life to realize that you deserve to be here.
Yep.
And if you're here, treat it as such. You know, it's like just like Gary Vaynerchuk talks about all the time. It's like, shit, the chances of being a human being is so insanely small.
Yeah.
It's like, I tell people, they laugh at me. They're like, why are you smiling today? I said, I'm really in this bitch today. It's like, I woke up this morning, you know. It's like, I woke up this morning, I'm here.
Yeah, I think getting back to Connor, though, because, you know, I know we all fans of Connor and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm rooting for him to come back and everything strong, but
No doubt.
I feel like it's hard when you get that certain amount of success and money, like to go back to that moment where he was not a champion and like really putting in the work. Because like once you sleeping in silk sheets and stuff, it's kind of hard to get up and get hit in the face and have that same motivation. But if you're intrinsically motivated, it's all, there's nothing to you really. But I feel like that's harder from when the come up of when you didn't have anything to when you have something to try to go reinvent yourself again.
Right. Because you don't go ahead.
Sorry. That's why I was I've been listening to David Goggins a lot, and he always talks about how like there's no end, like because like you know how people say like, oh, hold hands, happy ever after and stuff like that, or like just for instance like people be like just him is for instance he accomplished a whole bunch of things, and then he was just like I started getting civilized, and he was just like my hands like didn't callous anymore. And he's like I started talking about things that I used to do and I did do, and like and I looked in the mirror, it's like what am I doing now? And it's like there's no end. Like that's because people think like, oh, once I accomplish this,
you made it.
I made it. Yeah. But then you got to wake up and do the same thing. Like you got like there's a challenge every day. Like there's not like there's no end. Basically, that's what he's saying. So that's why he's like now I challenge myself. Fitness. I challenge myself to do things more. To not be like, oh yeah, I did that a few years ago, but what do you do now? Because I feel like a lot of people get caught up with that. They like, okay, I used to do this and just talk about their past, but it's like, what have you done now? You might not be able to run a 10-minute, I don't know, a mile or something now, but there's other things that you can do to accomplish. Like, there's always things you can do more, but people just get caught up to be like, oh, that's it. I accomplished so much now. People get motivated. And then he was talking about basically like, you know, when you get motivated, like how like you're in a comfortable place, a comfortable environment, and it's like you like say for instance you watch a movie for some on some badasses, you get inspired. Right. But the moment you're doing what those people were doing, like you don't have that inspiration. Like you're not in the comfortable of your house. Like you basically you have to dig deep basically, because he always talks about how he doesn't listen to music when he works out, and because like what happens when the music goes off. Right. Like they're like because he talks about he talks about how like athletes and football players like because I went to the Alabama weight room and they're blasting music and stuff, and it's like all right, that's cool, blasting music in the game, It's like, what happens if you get punched in the mouth in the game? There's no music. You're not listening to music. So it's like, you have to always find that balance of stuff, because he's not saying that don't listen to music, but he's just saying like he challenges his brain, because like I said, you can be in a comfortable environment, but then once you're actually in the environment of what got you inspired, it's hard to like keep going, because there's no like, oh, I can just go home and chill and watch a movie and get inspired again. You're actually in that situation. So I just that made a whole bunch of sense to me, because I never really thought about it like that, because I might watch something or read something to get inspired for a second.
Yeah.
But it's like once I'm in that actual environment, that's not what's inspiring me. It's like, oh damn, this is real.
So you have to act on it.
Yeah, you have to act on it. It's not just like, oh, this is inspiring. Now I can. That's a comfortable environment. So.
Right. When the going gets tough, you gotta get tough in.
Exactly.
And man, it's funny you say that, because in high school in wrestling, I was in another shape, like just physically, just I could go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, even if you get gassed in the match, like you're outpacing 95% of anybody around you, and you could walk around the room with a certain confidence, like this person, and not that it's that confident, cocky thing again.
Mm-hmm.
It's that confidence that, hey, I put in the work here, I deserve to feel like this, and these people in the same room can't do what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reward in that feeling. And then the other day, I went and wrestled with some of the high school kids again, and it's like, it went good, man. I still feel like I tell you what, I still got it. I tell you what, boss, I still got it. I just got to get my cardio back, because after a few rounds, I'm like, holy shit, huffing and puffing. But I went to the gym with some buddies, and these buddies have been getting back into CrossFit, getting back into some heavy lifting. And I was lifting heavy for a while. I got into a lot more endurance stuff and just wasn't pushing myself as hard. And then the other day, I go, they're doing squats. I'm like, hey, you know what, let me hop in there real quick. And went too heavy too fast and strained my back a little bit. You know, I was like, you know what? It was embarrassing. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, this should never happen. And so I'm like, all right. And that motivated the hell out of me. I said, I'm about to get it back. Mm-hmm. So I've been changing my workouts up. I've been changing some few things up with it. And I'm climbing back that weight ladder, you know, because it never changes. But as soon as you start climbing the weight ladder, and I didn't think of it too heavy until my buddy said this. He's like, yeah, Teague, there's just something about lifting some heavy ass weight that makes you feel so good about yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, I've been slipping. Yeah, and so I'm getting back into that, where I'm gonna start lifting some heavy ass weight, and not that I'm competing with anybody else, but heavy for Teague.
Yeah.
And heavy for what I could have done and what I knew I used to be, and surpassing that. But back to Connor, is he was in that scarcity mode. He was in the scarcity mode. He didn't have anything to fall back on. There was no plan B. He had hit, all his bridges were burnt. I mean, he's borrowing his girlfriend's car. He's doing all kinds of stuff. In the meantime, she's helping him prep his meals and coming home, and he's been busting ass all day. And she says, hey, you still got it. I believe in you. You still can do it. That's next level shit, first off. But he didn't have nothing to fall back on. He wasn't comfortable. And then, like you said, as soon as abundance comes, as soon as everything comes, it becomes either a blessing or a curse.
It's the hard part.
Yep.
Yeah. You can only do so much, because once you get to a certain level, people are like, oh, like you said, that's it. Put my feet up.
Right.
And it's hard to get back into that mindset. And then what was I gonna say? Oh, going back to David Goggins. I've been doing a lot of stuff on David Goggins, but he was talking about taking souls, basically.
Yeah,
so how you were talking about, like, nobody wants to, like, the stuff that nobody wants to do, like, people like shame on it and stuff, but it's because like they look in reflection of themselves and they can't do it, or they don't want to put themselves through that mental capacity to do it. So they're like, oh, what are they doing? They're crazy. Like, they're out here running 20 degrees. Like, why are you out here training so hard? Or like stuff like that. And just because it's a reflection of themselves, like how you were saying. And then like he talked about how he was going to run this 100-mile race. I think you had to do like 100 miles in 24 hours. But he said the day before he lifted with one of his good buddies. And he said they went heavy in the gym, like squats, deadlifts. And then, but like he said, like, he's like, what motivated him to do that? Because he knew he lifted heavy the day before the 100-mile run. And he's like, what motivated him? He knew he was coming. His friend that worked out with him. So he was like, when I'm running, I know this dude's going to be like, how is he doing this? Like we just lifted a heavy squat. I'm sore. I'm watching you run 100 miles. And But he was just saying that's like taking somebody's soul, because it's like thinking like, oh, that's not even possible.
Right.
And he's
not possible for them. But
Yeah.
It's almost like it's burying them.
Exactly.
And it's like it's burying the competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that old adage in athletics or sports. Like when you're up on somebody, you got to take them completely out.
Exactly.
You got to put the pedal down even harder. And that's what I talked about with the high school kids. Like you're gonna win matches just by outworking people in this small window. When both people want to take a break. Yeah. And it's like both people are like they're feeling each other out because they're giving each other that rest. One person's tired, he's tired. It's like, oh shit, I don't want to go. Mm-hmm. Who's gonna go first? Who's gonna be proactive instead of reactive there? And 99% of people are gonna be reactive. And if you can keep pushing that pace, you're gonna win. And you're gonna bury him. He's like, how the fuck is this guy still going? Yep. How's he still? And you might have been gassed, but you got him on the mental side because you said, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that's why I love boxing so much, because it's like an ultimate chess match, especially when you're tired too.
Right.
You guys are both tired, but who's gonna be more sharp at a split second here, like a 30 seconds here, and just to win a round, and stuff like that. So that's why I like boxing so much too.
And respect to Floyd, man, for still. I have a good and bad side with Floyd. Yeah, I lost a decent amount of money, but he just doesn't, man. He just keeps on going and keeps on going and keeps on going, and he's getting old too, but he just keeps on pushing the pace. But you gotta
stay retired.
Fair enough. But you got to see him in the gym. Like he's talking to himself the whole time, and back to getting to that level of confidence. He's saying while he's hitting the bag, boom, can't nobody beat me, can't nobody beat me, can't nobody beat me. All day long, and nobody's beating it. All day long. It's like you can literally brainwash yourself into feeling however you want to feel.
Yeah.
But if you're not the one controlling the brainwashing, you are damn well getting brainwashed. Whether it be you come home to the news and you're sad because you've seen every negative thing in the world that happened today, or you let somebody else tell you what they thought of you, and you let somebody else's opinion become your reality because you started believing it. You just got brainwashed, and it's like. I brainwash myself every single day on the positive. I brainwash myself when I'm sleeping. I turn books on when I'm sleeping because your subconscious never sleeps, ever. So it's like all day long, I'm brainwashing myself for how I want to feel, how I want to be, and people don't get it. And they hear the term brainwash.
When I was training for my 100-miler, people used to ask me all the time, "Why would you do that? Why are you doing this?" Yeah, and I just tell them because I can. Yeah, and it's funny about those races is anything can happen in them to make people drop. Like you could have stomach issues, you could twist an ankle, just whatever, anything. But when I went into it, I knew I was going to finish. Yeah, I went in with the mindset that I'm going to finish. I told my pacers, no matter what I tell you, I may get to a point where I say, all right, I'm done. I can't go anymore. Do not let me quit unless I've got a broken leg and I can't walk. Right. I said, I won't quit. Yeah. And I think that helped me, obviously, throughout. It's just weird knowing that anything can go wrong, but I knew nothing was going to, and I was going to finish. Wow. I just knew it.
And that's complete faith, though. That's what people don't understand with their goals. Like, hey, anything in the world can go wrong. Yeah. What are you going to focus on, though? Because shit's going to go wrong. Shit is going to go wrong. It ain't going to go perfect. It ain't going to be amazing.
It's like you will it to happen.
Exactly, dude. 50 Cent had it was like a late night show. He had a good a speech on this, a good talk. Like, so how do you think you got here? He's like, honestly, like, I willed myself here. And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? He's like, no, like, I willed myself here. I knew I was going to make it. I put in the work in to make it, and I made it.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to not willing to do that, basically. Right. They just think, oh, this is a negative, and then they're hearing a lot of outside noise and stuff.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't believe in themselves.
Yeah. And that, I mean, even like me, I wasn't the most confident person. So just educating your mind, like me and Teague always talk about, it's not just because me personally, I work out. Obviously, I love to work out, but I work out for my mind as well to strengthen my mind and stuff. Not just for my physical body, it's to harden my mind. That's why I push myself all the time when I work out and different things like that, because it's for my mind. But basically, like, people have to strengthen their mind because because when somebody's an alpha male, they see him an alpha male, they might think, oh, they always been an alpha male, but they had to get to that point. Yeah. They're probably just like you at one point. but they educated their mind, hardened their mind, and now they're who they are. But it took time to get there. It took a lot of effort, but didn't happen overnight. But it just kept going, and now look at them. They have the confidence. They're successful, and those are all the things that correlate with life.
And almost people see is the highlight reel, especially with social media these days. You just see the highlight reel.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was talking to a kid today at work, and said, "Yeah, we're doing a podcast. What number is this?" It's number 48.
Yeah,
that's 48 hours of just doing nothing and not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, well, all these people that are multimillionaires, they worked for free at some point.
For a long time.
But you didn't see that,
right?
People just think that, they got a job, started making money, saved or whatever they did, and then made more money.
Yep.
No, people do things for free to get to where they want to go.
Exactly. And little do they know, it's not even for free. It's they're thinking of it in the monetary. Well, yeah, it wasn't added to my monetary bank. It wasn't added to my monetary bank. But little do people know, each rep that you take in any step, whether it be a podcast, whether it be an athletic sport, whether it be reading a book, whether it be learning a new language, whether it be any skill, it doesn't even matter. Whatever you guys are passionate about, any rep that you take, it's adding to the experience bank over and over and over. People wonder, like, oh man, this guy made it. How the hell did Elon go from to he sold XCOM, which was PayPal, to having all this money to investing it all into Tesla and SpaceX, and boom, right back up to the top. And it's not because of the money.
Well, nobody knew him, and then all of a sudden there he is.
Exactly.
And people think, he was just always there.
Right, exactly.
They don't see the work that's put in.
Right. And you could fail at the very top. You could be a billionaire, fail at the very top, and you can come right back.
Yeah.
And it's all about the experience bank and the mental bank, and getting the drive back underneath you. Because honestly, it's at the beginning, it's shitty to start getting into the uncomfortable zone. It's not fun at the beginning. And then once you can switch your mindset to, like you're saying, taking pride into, I can do shit other people can't do.
Or won't do.
Exactly.
It won't do, exactly.
And it's like, you just start feeling like the man.
Yeah.
And you're like, give me the stuff that other people can't do or won't do. I'm gonna make it happen.
Exactly.
And get hyped up, man. Like truly, like it's weird. Even in wrestling, like, or football, it's like, I just wanted people to know, whether you win or whether I win or lose, you're never gonna forget wrestling me, ever.
Yep, that's how it's supposed to be.
Like, it was weird. And it's like, as soon as I started getting in my head, though, that's when I would lose. If I got in my own head in a negative way, that's a loss might be coming.
I still learned that one up at Weaver High when we was working on that inward block.
Yeah.
I said, when they come in and dive at you, you just throw that right in their neck.
Yeah.
And that guy dove at you, and you went to do it, and he went a little lower, and you went over the top of him. You would have killed him.
Oh man.
If that connected, you would have killed him.
Man, that was we were rowdy, man. Like we just like to let people know. It was weird. And then it's like somewhere along the way, after high school, I went through all these challenges, and I lost it. It's like I lost the
fire.
Yeah, the fire in me, and I was like, what's going on? And
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure it out for so long. And then eventually I was able to marry both sides of the kind, humble versus the fire, like, let's get after it. And that's what I'm starting to get now, and it's heating up even more and more and more, and that balance is going even more and more and more to where I'm really feeling in control again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm feeling like I can do anything. And that's a beautiful spot to be in, because as soon as you start getting back there, people were there at some point in there. I just start thinking of that now. It's like, I was there for a while, then I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Where at some point people were there. So I want to know, like, what do you guys think? What creates a confident or an unconfident person in what they do? Like, do you think it's just the experiences they go through and they allow it to, like, weaken them?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, who you surround yourself with, like you, everybody in our team is positive mind. You all think alike, and you all have common goals and stuff. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that can detract us from that, because, like, you might be on the right path, like doing something right. You're physically, mind, everything, mind, body, soul, and then you just start drifting off with a few people that are going a different direction, and you just fall off just like that. So I feel like outside people, you just surround yourself with good people. I mean, that might sound cliche, but Like that's like one of the biggest advice I can get. Surround yourself with good people, and then be okay and be okay to be alone sometimes too. Don't try to always feel like you have to go out and hang out with people or seek that. Like, be confident in yourself too. Like, you don't always have to be with somebody. Like, because a lot of times they're not on the same level as you as far as what you're trying to do in your goals. And it's easy to get detracted from that. So I feel like probably outside noise and stuff like that.
Well, it's like, go ahead.
I think you have to also have something out there you're going after.
Yes.
For example, like when I'm running, I don't train that hard if I don't have a race that I signed up for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you throw something out and say, okay, I'm going to go do this, you're going to train for it. You're going to work hard to go get it.
Another challenge.
Yeah. My buddy even just said he's going through a lot of personal stuff right now. And so he's like, Teague, you know what? I've always loved being in the gym, and it helps me relieve stress and get some of my anger out, because I'm angry at a lot of the situations. And he's angry at a lot of the situations in his life right now. So he's able to get that, express it out through the gym. And he's like, honestly, I started looking. I went and picked a bodybuilding competition, first one that's coming up, I think in February of 2020, around that time frame. Yeah. And he's like, I just said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Clicked it, because I knew if I didn't have something I was working for, I'd pay for the gym pass and I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
And I'd stay at home and I'd get angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier instead of go let it out and get that tension out.
That's why that's why I like working out too. It's like getting that release. It's nothing like having a hard workout and then like I feel calm like the rest of the day. Right. It's like nothing that really makes me mad too much.
Can't phase you as much.
Yeah, because I'm like, I just put it all out in the gym or put it all out wherever I was doing it. So I feel it's not like, oh, I'm irritated, nagging and stuff. Oh, do this, do that. Like, oh, I'll do it.
Right.
I put all out, everything I did. Yeah. So I feel like the gym is that's another reason why.
And it's the same with martial arts. Like you do a lot of boxing. I did a lot of wrestling. You did a lot of karate as well. It's like there's nothing like two ways, like kicking ass and getting your ass kicked to just be like, that's the only way. I can't even describe it in words. It's just that relief. It's like, damn, I needed it. And I've watched a lot of world champions feel that same way, like Jaden Cox, who just he took the world championship just recently, a couple weeks ago, took a gold in the world championship wrestling freestyle, and he didn't even get scored on. Wow. Nobody even scored on him. Like, this guy just dominated. Wow. He's a person in the world. I think he went to Penn State, Jaden Cox.
Okay.
And I was watching this video beforehand, and he's getting massaged, right before it. He's like, I'm feeling a little sore. It's like, most people think I'm a little weird, but I like to feel sore before I go in. It lets my body know I'm ready. Yeah, it lets my body know I put the work in. It's one of those other things that, like, you feel comfortable in the uncomfortable. And so every single thing that I'm trying to do now, everything, whether it be working at work or, and I struggle translating from physical to mental sometimes, like on just tasks, not mindset, but just doing tasks. Cause I feel like I can push my body further and sometimes I can push my mind. Like, I need to read this many pages. Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Devices and distractions.
It's distraction. That's the hardest thing. Really.
Right.
That's why I said it's kind of hard. I mean, we live in a world now that, like, you can easily get distracted. So I feel like
you hop on social media, boom, dopamine starts flowing.
Exactly.
Drugs,
anything. People can distract you, so it's just hard to kind of stay focused. And I guess I feel the same way too. Sometimes I have a hard time balancing that out as well. But
I feel you.
But I want to go back a little bit to when you said it's you got to know how to kick ass and you got to know how to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
And we do that a lot in class. And people don't understand that. I tell them all the time, I like to get hit hard because that tells me what I need to do to be able to make someone else feel that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You gotta know what it feels like to know that you can do it.
Yeah. And it's that iron sharpens iron. It's just like you were saying about surrounding yourself with the right people. If there's anybody listening that goes to the gym a lot, everybody knows going to the gym with a person who never goes to the gym and they're not going to push you. They're just going to be kind of there. And then somebody who goes all the time and they're going to make you lift a little more than you even thought you could. And you're like, fuck, man, you're like, I didn't want to work this hard, but I needed it. Yeah. And then you guys just start going. And then he starts beating you in a couple areas and there's that pride again. It's like, well, I ain't about to let him do this. So then you start pushing it and now you're pushing him and you guys are pushing back and forth. And there's that iron sharpens iron to where you guys are both becoming the elite versions of yourself. Wrestling was the same way. If you're wrestling with a partner that's going to be lazy and easy, it gets a little easier to be lazy and easy.
No, for sure.
But if you're wrestling with a guy it's like how Kobe Bryant, they talk about him in practices. If you want to become lazy that day, he's gonna put it on all day long,
and he's gonna let you know about it.
Oh, and you're gonna hate it until you start putting it back on.
Exactly.
And so that's what it's about, is getting around the people, or even if one partner that will help you get to that next level and push you, even when you don't want to be pushed. It's that pacer you talked about. It's like, hey, I'm doing shitty right now. My body hurts, my leg hurts, my feet hurt, my mind hurts, my belly hurts, everything hurts. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. But the pacer say, no, it ain't happening. You committed.
Yeah,
brother, you committed.
And I think on the other hand too, it could be you might not have a person to really push you and work out. So you might have to just work out by yourself, because it might be less disfavor to you for somebody to work out half-assed, basically.
Right.
It's going to pull you down, and you just going to the gym, working out, doing your work, boom. Because, I mean, you might not always have the perfect, because it's hard to find a good gym partner. I'm not going to lie. Like one that's going to push you and go back and forth, and especially if you guys are, like I said, competing together and stuff. Right. Sometimes it's hard. He might not go or stuff like that. Right. He might be slacking off, and that's gonna put you down. Yeah. Like I said, it's all energy who you surround yourself with.
True.
With everything, not just with the gym, with your life, personal life, with things that you want to do, goals. Like it all revolves around it. If somebody's bringing negative energy in your life, like you can't be around it. Yep. It's gonna bring you down.
Yep. And if you don't have anybody there, it's like, I can't even remember who it was that mentioned this, but I started thinking about it, and it's like, damn, it's so true, especially in today's day and age where you have access to videos, speeches, seminars, everything. You may not have the right people around you, but you can surround yourself with the top dogs in any industry. If you're a bodybuilder, you can have every top bodybuilder there's ever been in your ear all day long. I tell you what, I'm better friends with Napoleon Hill than I'm sure most people in his real friends in real life would. Because I've listened to him so damn much, you know, and read so many of his books. It's like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt, one of the goats, man, one of the goats. But it's like he's always in the back of my head. He's in my ear, and it's like there's just a few key people, and they may not even be. That's what's so weird. It's like they may not even be real or be alive, but there's somebody talking to you, and if you let them talk to you in the right way and you listen to them in the right way, that may sound a little crazy, but everybody's got somebody talking to them. So what voice are you listening to?
It's good. It could be the negative voice too, because I mean, we all get the negative voice talking to us in the back of your head. Oh, don't do that. Don't wake up in the morning. Don't go. You can go in and sleep in a little bit.
Or don't speak up. What if somebody thinks different of you? When you had something good to say that somebody else needed to hear, but you were too timid and too shy to be you, because you're going to get criticized. But anybody of power is going to get criticized, good or bad. So you better start getting criticized, because it's that whole, if you ain't got no haters, you better get you some, type scenario where you got to be making an impact. If you're not making an impact in some way, if you're not influencing the room in some way, you're the one getting influenced.
And like I said, it's hard to think when it happens, like in live action, but just know that when somebody is probably criticizing you, that it's a reflection of themselves, because they want to do what you're doing or be as outspoken as you. So they're trying to pull you down. Like that's how bullies are. They might have problems with their family. They might be getting abused or neglected, so then they want to bully other people. And that's how it starts. So you always got to know that, like you said, you got to have people. You're gonna have haters. You're not having haters. You're not doing something right. And then just like know that people are they want to pull you down because they don't have the confidence in themselves. So I mean, it's hard to think. It took me a while to figure that out, honestly, too.
Even some of your best friends can be haters. And they don't even realize they're being haters. You know what I mean?
They'll bring you down without even knowing it. Or even parents, like they'll discourage you from taking an opportunity or taking a chance on something. Not even because they don't love you and what's best for you, because in their mind they do. But they didn't know that you needed to go through that opportunity or to take that chance to become the best version of yourself. And sometimes you have to disregard sometimes the people that are closest to you, if you know in your heart and your mind that that's just something you got to do. And man.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, your parents, I would say most parents want their best interest for their child and stuff, but at the same time, like you said, they could be wrong. Like that, that doesn't mean they're right. And If you have something inside you, you want to express it, like don't let anybody stop that. Anybody.
And parents are just big kids. Like we're all just growing
and learning as you go.
Yeah,
so.
learning. Yep.
You never stop. You never stop. And that's so funny you say that though about insecurities and they're expressing it onto your own, because growing up in Roy, it's like as a littler guy, it's like I just got into public school. I was ready to fight at any given moment, you know, just to protect myself, you know, and so
you just wanted to fight.
I did love adrenaline. I did love adrenaline and testosterone for sure. But it's just like I was mean to people when I didn't need to be mean to them, because I was scared I was gonna get treated meanly.
Exactly.
And I didn't want to be treated meanly, so I figured if I could be the first one, that it would almost put up a protection wall against me, you know. And just like you said, it took me so long to figure that out. It's like, man, if I would just fucking been kind to people, they would have been a lot kinder.
They didn't realize that was your insecurity.
Right.
They just thought he's a jerk.
Exactly. And it takes a lot of self-introspection to be like, why am I the way I am? Or why have I been the way I have? And how can I adapt it to become who I truly am? And that's what's beautiful, is you get to decide what you are. I am is a powerful statement. And what are you? You get to decide. You get to create it. And man, I love it. I eat it up. But insecurities are a real deal. And they're a demon everybody has to fight with.
For sure.
Everybody has to fight with.
You guys want to talk to a softer topic or something?
Yeah, what you got for us?
Let's see. I'm trying to think.
You don't even have anything in mind.
Who y'all got in that George Masvidal and Nate Diaz fight?
Ooh, honestly, I think Diaz can, if he can survive the first couple rounds, he'll win, because he just has a tank on him like nobody else, dude. And it's the marijuana, bro. I tell you what, it truly is. Like him and Nick, bro, they'll go roast and they'll go on like triathlon type.
I want to say, who was saying that? I want to say it was Mike Tyson, his Hot Box podcast.
Yeah.
I think he was on with Wiz Khalifa. He was talking about, I don't know the science, so don't quote me, but he was saying something about when you smoke weed, it opens up your lungs to actually give you more cardiovascular capacity. So, because like Wiz does like a lot of jiu-jitsu and UFC stuff. So he was talking about how he smokes all the time before.
Oh, yeah.
And he feels like he has more energy and stuff.
Well, when I was smoking heavily, man, like I tell you what, it's one of the best, at least for me, and when I was in prime, it was one of the best pre-workouts ever. Because like you could also start getting tired and fatigue, getting your mind, you're like, only two more. And you're like, well, maybe. And then those last two start getting hard as shit. And you're like, what is going on? And when I roasted beforehand and just did my thing, it's like I could just push past it. I just tuned into the music and just go. And just go.
It's like you're in your mind more, I feel like.
Right.
For sure. No, that's going to be a good fight, though. I want to check that one out for sure. I think it's in November.
I don't even know. But
we got to check it out.
No doubt. For sure. No doubt. For sure. It'll be good. How important do you guys think coming together, like creating a group of friends and creating a team, but how important do you think coming together on a regular basis is for what we're doing right now, Debbie?
I think it's very important, because I mean you can do a lot over the phone and stuff, but I feel like face to face is better. It's best, obviously, and we all just can, like I said, we all got one common goal and stuff. So just working together, and we get to, like you said, we have problems talking over each other sometimes, but we all working on it. So just like working around, being around each other, everybody expressing their opinion, and listen to everybody's opinion, and then adapt from there. So basically, I think just meeting in person is good, like, because you get to see what everybody's thoughts are, get on the same page and stuff. It's just different than, I would say, over the phone, but you can get that experience.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps you realize when you're face to face that everybody is on your side.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's on each other's side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even like Debbie said, if you're talking on a topic and people disagree on that topic, at the end of the day, they want what's best for the cause, for the goal. Like it's beautiful to see. And when there's something about breaking the bread with people. There's something about eating with people, and just it's like everybody can just let their guard down and be themselves and be in an accepted environment. And man, if you guys aren't in an accepted environment, reach out to any of us. I tell you what, we'll let you in as far as guiding you in any possible way we can, because we've been so fortunate to see the importance of it. And it truly is so important to be an environment where you can be you and not be afraid to be you, because you can fail forward, then you can make mistakes and you can adapt from there. If you're too terrified to make a mistake, you'll stay frozen and you won't move, and you'll stay stuck, statue. And
there's nothing better than helping someone.
Yeah.
So whether it's coaching, mentoring, whatever it is, there's nothing better.
I agree.
That is a great fulfillment too. Like, it's not necessarily fulfillment. It's just like you did actually went out your way to help somebody. It's like
it's worth more than money.
Yeah, it's worth more than money for sure.
It's not a superiority complex like, oh, I'm better than this person. Yeah. Look what I know. It's when you truly help someone.
Yeah. Giving them a real hand up, helping them stand on their own 2 feet, I
mean, that's why I'm excited too with the business that we're starting. We get to give back as well, like do a lot of charity events and different stuff like that. I mean, that's going to be what I'll be more proud of than the business. It's giving back to people and stuff. Because that's always something I always want to do.
Right.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be when the cameras are out and stuff like that. It can just be to the genuine of your heart and stuff. Because a lot of people do it for the wrong reasons, I would say. So, like I said, social media, they might just do it for PR stunt or whatever.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm not saying we won't put anything on camera, but I'm just saying it's going to be more from a genuine reason, and that's something I'm excited to do.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's not why you're doing it. It's to brag about it or show her, look what I'm doing.
Exactly.
You genuinely want to do something like that. That's the difference.
Yeah, I seen Mike Rashid. He's a dude on YouTube I've been following. He does this thing called like Dirty Angels, where he like gives out food to like homeless, and they go to like different places. But he was just talking about like, I mean, he's like, it's Friday night, like you could be out partying and stuff, but you're doing this. But he's like, it's not even that. It's like you might like basically he's saying like this is like a small game. Like this is not really gonna do too much in the world as far as this one event. But like if you can inspire 10 other people to do the same thing, then they inspire 10 other people to do the same thing, and then 20 people. Then it's just like that's a movement. Yeah, that's how I create a movement. That's how you do it. And that's what he was saying. Like that's what we want to do. Is not just like I said in the big scheme of things. This is not really helping everybody. This is just a small little gesture. But like I said, 10 other people might want to get inspired and do something else for themselves and do something similar, and then inspire another 10 people and stuff like that. So that's what that's what I'm excited for sure.
Truly. And what's so cool is you can start without money. You can start you can start giving with your time, with your service, with your effort, with your attention. Some people just need to be listened to because they're never listened to their whole life. They just need to vent it out. You don't even got to come up with a solution all the time. They just need somebody to hear them, because they're not heard in their everyday life. But I also struggle when people are like, well, Teague, because I got big aspirations. You guys have big aspirations. And when people make the comment, and it is that insecurity type thing again that I found, because I used to kind of think the same way. And they're, Teague, it's not all about money. Life isn't all about money. And it's like, yeah, I understand that. It's not about money, but what can you do without it right now? You go try to make, because how big of an impact, everybody's like, yeah, it's about helping people and loving one another, doing all this stuff. Well, how many more people can you help with $1 billion in the bank account? A massive amount.
Versus just time.
Right, exactly. And it's like, yes, Mother Teresa was able to do that one person at a time, but we're in a day and age now to where if you don't have some type of income stream that's allowing you to flourish in more than just survival mode of paying the bill, it's basically modern day slavery, where you're stuck and you're trapped. It's like it's just for all races, all religions, and everybody now is you're stuck in your trap because you're in debt, and then you have to go to I heard this quote. It's like you drive in a car that you don't own to go to a job that pays you just enough to pay for the car and the food to get back to the job. And it's like what is going on? Where are people getting stuck at? And you can't even focus on the good things out of your heart now.
Exactly.
Because you're so distracted in the day-to-day life. Then you get so tired. You're like, shit, man, I'm at my job. I'm gassed. I'm tired.
What am I doing this for?
Right. Why am I doing this? And then you go home and you watch TV or you do something, you relax, and it's like what's going on? You get in the cycle. And
sorry to cut you off. Getting back with the money part though is funny because, like, for instance, I'll say Pacquiao, he gives back so much to the Philippines, but think about how much money he made in boxing. Like he, besides Floyd, he's right under Floyd is making the most money in boxing by far, and he gives so much back to the Philippines. Imagine if he didn't have that money, how much people he wouldn't have been able to help. Like he literally gives out money every day. Like they have to turn the cameras off because he doesn't like it. But like because there's a lot of poor people and stuff out there. So he helps them so much. Like gives them money every day. Like they say, like he's still fighting because he needs to make more money to give them more money. Because because they say like Floyd's buying all these cars and stuff, but he's giving his money away. Like it's not. So he's basically not having as much money as he could because he's giving most of it away. But imagine how many people he couldn't have helped if he didn't have that money, like you said. And money is you need money to help a lot of people, right? Especially if you want abundance, to help as many people as you can, like change as many lives as you can, like buy your mom a dream car, dream house, and stuff like that. You have to have money.
Right. They're like, you can't take it when you die, though. You're like, exactly. I'm trying to make an impact before I die, though. Exactly. And Andrew Carnegie, he was one of the richest men in the world at the time, and he created the steel company. And he, I listened to a speech Napoleon did, and he's like, yeah, Andrew Carnegie almost went insane trying to give his money away without causing damage. Because if you just give somebody money or just give somebody a free gift and they didn't earn it in any way, and it's a handout, a free handout, and not just a hand up to help people get on their own 2 feet. A few things happen. It's almost like a pity thing, to where they sometimes feel bad for accepting it if it's free gift because they didn't earn it sometimes, or they accept it and they don't know how to remake it or create a positive after effect because of it. Does that make sense? So, for example, you look at the people who win the lottery. A lot of them they'll win the lottery and then they'll get depressed, they'll lose all their money, and they're off in a worse position than they usually started. Because giving away free money or in excess to people who aren't ready or who truly don't need it can be a curse just as big as a blessing. So being able to give in such a way that it causes an increase in somebody's life and not a decrease in, whether it be they might have got an increase in the monetary bank, but did they get a decrease in loving others? Did they get a decrease in motivation because now they have it? And did they get it? So it's like without causing negative harm to somebody. So it's just like you're saying, Manny Pacquiao being able to give food, being able to give people a hand up, Akon, giving people electricity and water. Giving people electricity and water, that gives them a chance to start flourishing and earn their own in different ways. Creating an economy where people can earn as well as receive is so important. And it's like I didn't understand that for a long time. And there's so much great in philanthropy and giving. The secret to living is giving. But it has to be done with great responsibility, especially once we start getting to where we're going to get, and as other people start getting to where they're going to get, that are chasing their own dreams too. It's like giving is a beautiful but powerful responsibility. It's like the rich kids that come up, their parents were rich, their parents made it, and the kids had all the money their whole life, and they're mean to everybody. It's like because they have everything their whole life, and then they expect to be, they're very entitled to get treated with 100% respect. It's like that was a negative. So it's like, how do you have your kid earn and learn how to be humble with and grateful with what they do?
And that's why it's important for your parents to install that at a young age. Because that's what my parents did. Like I remember when I was young, I went and fed the homeless for Thanksgiving one time, and that was like my first time doing it. So it's just like me looking at all these people, because like I can just go in the kitchen and eat whenever I want. But these people are really like they need this food, like and how grateful they were just for us to make them a plate. Like that just meant a lot from a young age. So that's why installing giving back is something I'm always passionate about, because there's a lot of people that really need it, like how you said. Some people that don't need it, and they might try to slouch and get around, but
some people just need to get on their own 2 feet, and then they can do it. It's like they just need a little bit of extra. And we've all been in a position where when we were down, we've had a hand up, not just a free hand out, but a hand up to get on our own feet and be like, okay, we're moving in a positive direction. I had that same experience when I was in Guatemala. Like I was probably like 12 years old or so, 11, 12 years old. And we went to Guatemala and helped some people build a Christian church out there. And it was so interesting. It's like there's a family of 5. sleeping on one mattress, and the floor is dirt, and their house is made of aluminum tin. And it's like these people wake up every morning with a big ass smile on their face. It's like, how are they so happy? But I couldn't understand it because growing up, all I'd ever seen was, and we weren't the wealthiest people in the world. We were like poor middle class, but we had athletics to work on, and we were all right. We had never starving. And it was so interesting to see. I just felt like with the richest man in the world. As soon as I went there, I'm like, wow, I have everything basically. And I needed to see that at that young age to know, like, oh man,
exactly.
There's something, we got to do something.
That's why I always say when I get money and stuff and live in a nicer neighborhood and stuff and have kids and settle down and stuff, I'm still gonna bring my kids to not the nicest neighborhood or somewhere my family members still live, and show that everything is not just sweet. Like just because you live in this nice house and stuff like that, but there's people that are living like this, and this is the real world, and it's not, and they're struggling every day. So just to install that at a young age, I think is key for young kids growing up and stuff, especially if their parents always had money. That's all they see. They're all their friends' parents have money, so it's like kind of hard to like see like, oh, why are they struggling? Or like, oh, what are they doing? Like, I got the news, like they got the newest stuff, newest Jordans, newest clothes. Like, but the other kids, their parents are struggling just to even have them wear some all right clothes and not get picked on at school. So that's why it's just, for people to see that, for young kids to see that, I think is for sure mind blowing,
crucial
at a young age.
Agreed. Sure. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm excited to see your success. I'm excited to see the impact that you make, dude.
For sure.
Yeah, it's real though. Your heart just radiates love, brother. Like anybody that comes into your circle, it's just boom, just like they know they're loved. It don't matter where they came from. It don't matter what they've been through, what mistakes they made. All that matters is where they're going. And man, that's a big win.
You say you want to show your kids this and tell them, what, this is the real world, which I get what you're saying, but you got to realize too, everything's the real world.
Yeah. Right.
You'll be in the real world.
Yep. Abundance can be the real world as much as scarcity can be the real world. But you have to have, just like you said, to see the balance. To know where do you want to be. And this bad boy right here in between our ears controls the whole outcome.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just a healthy balance, I would say, because it's hard. Like my parents never had money growing up and stuff. Like I didn't have a lot of stuff. I always wanted to get the new shoes and different stuff. My mom was like, no, or Christmas and stuff, but they did everything they could to like give me everything I wanted and stuff. But I know at the same time there were other kids that they had way less than me, and like they were still, like you said, they were still happy and stuff. So it's not all about that, but it's just at a young age you got to see that, because I mean you get confused. A lot of young kids, they don't know what is important in life at that young age. So
I had hand-me-downs growing up, but I didn't think anything of it.
You didn't think so?
No, my whole thing when I was probably late elementary, early junior high was I wanted a brand new pair of Nike shoes. That's all I wanted. Everything else was handy. I didn't care about anything else. I didn't care about my shirts, my pants, whatever. I wanted those shoes.
That's how it is, though.
And I like that you said that everything's the real world, because it's like almost you have to see as well that abundance is earned. Too. And you might have been blessed with a family who made it big, and so your monetary abundance is there. But real abundance, where it's happiness, monetary, confident, like where you can move in space and just be you and be able to make any decision you want in a positive direction, that is earned.
And there's something to earning what you have.
Right. And there's so much more in it. Like I remember I had a bike growing up, but then I spent $88 on a Huffy bike with flames, and I had been earning that money from learning how to mow the lawn. I was just a little guy, learning how to mow the lawn, taking out the trash, like little allowance stuff, And it's like I finally saved up enough, and I walked up to the counter. I went and got the bike, walk up to the counter and said, I want to get this bike. I was like, a cloud. And it's like, I'm a man now. I'm a little guy. I got a Huffy bike. It got flames on it. I'm gonna be the coolest cat in the neighborhood. And I love this thing. And I was flying around. I rode that thing everywhere.
And that's another thing.
And I bought it. I did it.
Yeah. That's another thing too. When you buy something, you're gonna want to make sure you keep it clean.
You take care of it.
Take care of it. Because I mean, like somebody else has something, you don't think nothing of it. But once you put your actual hard money into it, oh, I'm keeping this clean, nice. Like I'm cherishing this.
Right.
But yeah,
it's like your parents are turn the lights off. What do you mean turn the lights off?
Yeah, you get electricity.
You're paying for the damn electricity. You're like, oh shit, man, I ain't never turning these things on, you know.
That's so funny though.
It is. It's like it's like you just never know.
Yeah.
And then, man, truly treat yourself right, and it's gonna last longer. Treat everything right. Treat your relationships right. It's gonna last longer. Treat yourself right. Your body's gonna last longer. It's just
that's another thing. Sorry, I don't want to get off on a different tangent.
Go ahead, boss. We're on the Winged episode.
But that's another reason. Like I said, I'm always blessed to have both of my parents in my life because they raised me right and stuff. Right. And it's just sad because I see, especially in my community, African Americans, a lot of them, they don't have their fathers and stuff in their life or split home and stuff, and they turn out a completely different way. And I'm not saying I'm perfect and stuff, but I'm just saying they could have went down a different path, but it's how they were raised and stuff. But people don't put that in consideration. Like they just think, oh, he's like this, like he's just a trouble kid. Or,
it makes all the difference.
It makes all the kid from how you were raised and stuff. And like I said, if you didn't have that right, that healthy balance, I'm not saying you couldn't be able to be what you wanted to be, but it's harder, especially at a young age, because you're so easy to get distracted.
Yeah. You're impressionable at such a young age.
Yeah, like you can easily be influenced. That's why I said I was always blessed. But just seeing some of my friends and some of other people I knew, so even family members that went down a completely different path just because they didn't have their parents in a good foundation at home and stuff, and how they're raised. And it just correlates. And like I said, I feel like just a lot of people don't put in consideration how a person turns out to be from at a young age, how they were raised and stuff, different experiences and everything. So, like I said, I'm always blessed for having my parents in my life and everything.
Yeah, think about this. It doesn't have to be really debated, but just think about it. Family and education would solve everything. It would.
If you could have a correct family and a correct education.
If everyone did. If families stay together and you were educated.
Interesting.
That's all it's going to take. Yeah. Everyone tries to put these new programs in here. We need this program. We need this. No, you need family and education.
And I think it comes down to as well, like young parents.
It's like circle.
What is that balance, and what is, because every family has their own internal issues, you know, and it's like, okay, what is a healthy family even supposed to look like? And then back on top of that, what does the education system need to look like? Because right now it ain't changing over 100 years. And it's splitting people left and right. They don't even know what's going on.
And that's why I will say self-educate. Self-educate is the biggest thing to do. Like no matter what, like I'm not saying education, school systems is all bad, but self-education. Like I learned so much from, like I said, reading books, Audible, just doing research on myself, educating my mind. Like I said, and we live in a world now where you can find anything. So there's no excuse to not self-educate on anything and everything.
Right.
Really.
Truly. In all the extra downtime you have, instead of wasting it on doing nothing, I mean, educate, learn. It's easy. Like I'll be doing laundry, I'll be doing house chores, and I'll throw my headphones in and listen to a book. It's like I'm double tapping. I'm doing twice as much now. It's like it's just one of those things that helps me feel like I have an edge too. It's like I'm doing 2 times more than anybody right now because I'm doing this and this at the same time. So it's like I'm always trying to double tap. You know? No,
absolutely.
I love that. Where are we at on time? Are we running too far over?
It's never too far over.
Never too far. That's the language I like.
59.
Ooh, money. All right. Well, it's like I'm starting to dump my brain. Start to dial in how long
your internal clock knows
how long an episode is. It's real though. Like your internal clock knows for real.
I know.
Like when to wake up, like weird stuff. Especially when you're hyped up about something and you know, like, hey, I got to be up at this time, or my life or death depends on it. you're gonna be up 15 minutes early.
Yeah, I would say that all the time with like races.
Yeah.
I got an early morning race. Man, I have to wake up for this race. Like, I better set this alarm. Constantly up before the alarm.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is.
100%.
It's on your mind.
It's funny.
Your body knows, man. I tell you what, we're gonna get deep into some of these winged episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll wrap it up on that note, man. We're so thankful for all you guys listening. Let us know as well. Like, we're always trying to figure out how we can better serve the listeners, better serve the community around us. So if you guys have any input, reach out to us on any of our social medias. Reach out on some of the comments on this video. Let us know how we can best serve you, what you guys want us to dive into a little bit more, especially on these winged episodes. And man, we're just so thankful to be riding along this journey. Blessed to have the team we have around us. And before I wrap up, Corey, you got any last words?
No. Well, I guess yes. I always say no, and then I say something every time. Thanks for listening. Subscribe. Spread the word to subscribe and leave a review.
Truly,
I help out.
No doubt. Thank you. What about you, Denby?
I'm glad you guys came and listened and stuff. So I'll also say we're going to be making some big announcements soon with the juicery.
Huge.
So stay up to date with that. And I think that's about it.
Hell yeah. It's only been 48 episodes we've been talking about it, but I tell you what, that talking starts turning into fruition. Yeah. Starts turning into reality.
That's why I was quick. I was telling one of my friends, I showed him the location. I was like, literally, this started with an idea.
Yeah.
Like literally, it started with an idea, and then we just kept working at it. Like, it wasn't like, because a lot of people have ideas and never end up pursuing it. But that just shows you everything starts with an idea.
Yeah.
So,
and if you guys knew the gold in that last sentence that you just had, you could hear it 100,000 times, and that's it. It's not even gold. It's a diamond. That's a rock. That keep that gem with you for your entire life. But every single thing starts with an idea.
Yeah.
So we're blessed to have you guys on, and as always, coming to you raw.
101.56.